Hi, my name is Dylan Hamilton. I am a winemaker for Pacific Breeze Winery. I share that title with my wife, who's currently on maternity leave. So I will be taking you through these new wines that are part of our Winter 2021 Wine Club release. I'll be tasting them. That way you can taste with me, but I'll be alone. I'll be without Devin today, but we'll be tasting all three of these wines, and I'll tell you a little bit about our winemaking practices and how we made them. So I'll start off with our 2019 Demeanor. This grape is grown in Penticton in the Okanagan Valley, kind of a little area we like to call the Skaha Bluffs, kind of overlooking there. Great little area for growing Gewurz. This is a hint off dry, 100% stainless steel fermentation, so zero oak. Fairly average style of making Gewürztraminer here. Where we have that really crisp acidity is what allows us to leave it a hint off dry. This, I believe, is around 16, 17 grams per liter of residual sugar. So there's definitely some sweetness there, but kind of as far as that sweetness scale, it's kind of like a 1-2 on the BCL side, but take a smell here. Very cool. It's an aromatic white, so there's a lot of that. First, it's a lot of that tree fruit, a little bit of the apple, but it kind of gets into more of a tangerine, nectarine, a little bit citrusy, a little bit tropical. Yeah, and then it kind of lends itself to I almost want to say a bubble gum. It's kind of got a really cool nose. A little mango, a little cotton candy. But yeah, this is one of our staff picks for sure always is this Gewurz. And it does have that off-dry quality, it has that sweetness, but because it's so bright, that real acidity really pulls through, so it's not ending with that cloyingly sweet aftertaste. It really, it's like mouth-watering. It makes you want to just keep going back to it, and I will. Yeah, it's one of our favorite wines here just because it is so easy. Definitely a good patio sipper, really easy to drink. It's also, 11.8% alcohol, so it is a little bit nicer in that way as well. You can drink a little bit more without going to your head. It's 100% vegan. We, for our heat stability, we use a bentonite clay instead of egg whites. If you're wondering what wineries could use to make it not vegan, it'll be an egg white product, which helps bind with the proteins that could normally, if you get the wine really hot, it could start getting hazy. Just an appearance thing, doesn't really change the flavor or the aroma of the wine too much. But yeah, good, crisp, clean white wine. You can have this just chilled on its own, maybe a little quinoa salad, kind of a good afternoon, summer sipper. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, there's almost like a hint of a candied ginger at the end there too. I just opened these, so they'll be coming out a little bit more, but I'm gonna move along here. Brand new release for us right now. It's the 2019 Cab Shiraz. This is grown in Washington State, both the Cabernet Sauvignon and the Shiraz that's in here. Both grown in Washington State, the Columbia Valley. This is really fresh, fruity version of a Cab Shiraz. This is 2/3 Cab, 1/3 Shiraz. And into the glass. If you're wondering why we went with the Shiraz versus Syrah, the exact same grape, generally, we like to go by the adage of depending which oak treatment you used, whether you used French oak or American oak, that should be the indicator of what naming practices you use. So for our reserve Syrah, we actually use the exact same grapes, but we exclusively age it in French oak. For this was American oak, so we called it Shiraz in more of the nod of that American oak, which the Australians use so much. So generally, if we're tasting a Syrah/Shiraz, if I am detecting American oak, I think it should be called a Shiraz. If it's more French oak, I think it should be called a Syrah, but over here in Canada, New World, America, there's no actual labeling regulations or rules about that. You can kind of just do whatever you want, but enough of that. Let's get into the wine a little bit. So this is a 2019, so as far as Pacific Breeze reds, this is on the younger side. Just over a year in barrel, which I definitely pick up on. There's oak, but it's not the forefront. There's definitely a lot of that. It's blueberry, cherry, a lot of dark red fruit. It's just a bit of a fruit bomb right now. Little element of maybe a leather, kind of a bit of that quality, a bit of spice to it, but really leading with that fruit. Let's go in for a yeah, and what the aroma had, the palate is just continuing on. Pretty firm tannin. Again, it is a, on a younger side for a Bordeaux-ish blend. So it's chewy still. It should hold up to a lot of foods really well. But yeah, it's not blocking me out too much. So I would have this on its own. I kind of, pair it with a good book. But yeah, it's definitely rich. I would say moderate tannins. Firm acidity, but not really too much. It's a touch soft. Really makes it easier to drink that way, I feel. It's really just lingers, but yeah, really, again, invites you to have that second sip. Yeah, you could drink this today for sure, or lay it down for a few years. I'm excited to see how this wine will change with that Shiraz element. It might start taking over in the blend a little bit more and more with each passing year. We'll see. Yeah, again, American oak for a little over a year. This will be, our red wine that is our non-reserve in the upcoming wine release. So I will get into our finale, our big boy. You can see the color there, probably even compared to the other ones here. Both dark, but this is, I'm not sure if that can really be seen there, but yeah, definitely darker than my t-shirt. 2016 Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon. This is from our Obsidian Ridge Vineyard in California. So this is in Lake County, California, just north of Napa there. Good high elevation fruit, really allows for really cool, intense, really intense fruit. On the nose, a little bit different from the Cab Shiraz in that this has been aged in oak for quite a while. Again, this is a 2016, so 38 months in American oak. So yeah, it's a bit oaky, definitely oaky. So for those big oaky fans out there, this is the wine for you. There is definitely, first note is more of black currant, kind of that cassis fruit, really dark, but it really is going right in on that smoky, toasty element, a bit of cigar box, a little bit of like a licorice feel. It's definitely earthier than the Cab Shiraz. It's definitely a little bit more robust. Yeah. Yeah. Blackberry, licorice. Definitely a nice smoky quality to it. Yeah, and definitely a firm tannin, a little bit different than the Cab Shiraz because it's 3 years older, so it's wider in some ways, I feel. It's got that breadth, but because of that aging, it's really quite smooth. It's lingering a long time. Huge caudalie. But yeah, it's quite drinkable still. And that's kind of, again, the idea of why we're releasing it now is that we think it's ready to drink. But I'm gonna say 5 to 7 years, you'll probably see this wine hit its peak as far as that really mellowing out of tannin and getting that fruit to really come out more. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and with this is the type of wine that special occasions kind of, you don't want to share it with a lot of people. Not that many of us are getting out to a lot of parties these days anyways, but yeah, you know, open it with maybe just a significant other, throw something nice on the barbecue, maybe blue cheese crusted steak, something like that. You could really handle that really nicely. Oof. Yeah. All right, well, those are the 3 new wines that will be in the Winter Wine Club pack. If you have any questions, please email me, dylan@pacificbreezewinery.com. I can get back to you. Any questions at all, and yeah, I look forward to hearing what our wine club members think about this wine. Cheers.